it's not just Twitter, it's like every single surface, right? Like, you know, my cell phone number getting out there, people calling, people harassing my family members, stalking me, like all of that is incredibly terrifying and invasive, and it's bled out into the physical world too, which is even more terrifying, right?
Yeah.
I cover YouTubers for a living.
So you're familiar with
If I cared about mean Twitter replies, like I wouldn't have my beat.
Hey, nice job on that story, you soulless effing
Like I have Jake Paulers, you know, telling me to kill myself every day. I don't care.
I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad.
It doesn't affect me. I always say, I'm like, death threats, who cares?
I've had to remove every single social tie.
My bar is extremely high for this stuff.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. I'm so sorry. It's overwhelming. It's really hard.
People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
No! Say it isn't so. A blue checkmarked, well-decorated journalist, Taylor Lorenz, at the ripe old age of 96 years old, went to the internet yesterday to tell everyone about how she just couldn't go to events anymore in public because people would show up there and let her know that they didn't like her. You know, the same Taylor Lorenz who went to the home of content creators, not just the home, but the home of their family members, to harass them, to enable her doxing of an innocent woman who posted memes on Twitter. Yes, that Taylor Lorenz, the very same Taylor Lorenz who ran reports about how the editor-in-chief over at the Drudge Report was harassing her, except only after getting called out did she say, haha, LOL, I was joking. Well, yesterday she dropped a huge whopper about somebody stalking and harassing her. And guess what? I am sure you will be absolutely shocked and appalled to hear this, but she lied. And I have the proof of that. That more after a quick word from this video's sponsor. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Meta PCs. Look, you've been around, you know that I've been talking about Meta PCs for a very long time. In fact, it's the primary computer I use. But it's not just because they're a sponsor. It's for so many more reasons. They have fully customizable, configurable PCs and all the hardest to find parts in stock and ready to go. They also have ready to ship PCs ready for you today. Here's a couple of reasons why I like Meta PCs. First and foremost, it's veteran ownership. Meta PCs is a veteran-owned business. One of Meta's owners has served both in Afghanistan and Iraq and received a Purple Heart for his service. Meta also employs military veterans in Meta's Operations Center and also provides systems to veterans going back to school to help them re-enter the workforce all across the United States. They offer financing. It has 100% US-based sales and support. And when you receive your PC, it's ready to go right out of the box. So you don't have to get complicated and set things up. You just plug it all in and you're ready to rock. And on top of that, Meta PCs is offering you, my viewer, a huge discount when you use the link in the description or you use promo code TheQuartering. If you use my code at checkout, not only do you save money, but you support my content and a company that will not bow to cancel culture. So maybe you're not ready to pick up a new computer today, but when you are, remember to go to metapcs.com and use promo code TheQuartering to support me and to save money. And everybody wins. Yesterday or over the weekend, Taylor Lorenz, decorated, world-renowned journalist for the Washington Post, one of the oldest journalists still in the game, posted that she had attended a stand-in, a protest against Instagram censorship, something that I would have loved to stand shoulder to 6 feet of social distance, shoulder with Taylor Lorenz protesting. I might have even worn an N95 just for her. But, of course, it couldn't be about the event. It couldn't be about free speech. It couldn't be about the unfair and untransparent rules enforcement of Meta-owned both Facebook and, in this particular case, Instagram, unfair bans. And we've seen this. I mean, this is our world. Tay could have called me up. I'm sure she uses a rotary phone, but I think they can still make long-distance phone calls. She could have called me, KL57929er, called me up, and we could have went there together. about meme pages. She went to stand in solidarity with memes. Now, we all know what kind of memes Tay prefers. They are the memes of the left, which are generally huge blocks of text and unfunny from start to finish. But, of course, they wouldn't be memes at her expense. She would want those banned and removed from the internet. But within minutes of arriving, just seconds of arriving, she was accosted by an evil man. Well, I forgot I can't post anywhere where I'm going or to cover things live. Why would you do that anyway? Seriously, why are you telling people that you're going to be there if you don't want them to know you're there? This is something that is like even the biggest idiot online knows. When you see pictures, for example, when you see pictures of me at the Renaissance Fair, or you see pictures of me like out of state or at the EAA, it's days after I've been there. I don't post when I'm going to be gone because I don't want people showing up and getting ended by my dogs. I don't want people to be waiting for their big internet famous moment at an event. I just want to live my life. By the way, something even the octogenarian known as Taylor Lorenz has every right to do. But of course, immediately making the story about herself. Nothing has been more stressful than having men obsessively stalk me on the internet and show up to confront me in places in person. It's terrifying and invasive. Women journalists shouldn't have to deal with this. Men do, though. Men should have to deal with it. You notice how, of course, she qualifies that. Well, what if I told you that Tay Lorenz was full of bologna sausage? That's right, the full bologna sausage. Now, interestingly enough, Tay Lorenz happy to take off her N95 mask and pose bob to bob with an anonymous female for selfies on the internet. By the way, a tweet not only that she retweeted and then unretweeted after people pointed out that, wait a minute, also commented, ha ha ha, OMG, oh my god, I'm 75 years old, but I still can talk in emojis, zomag, oh zomag. So Taylor Lorenz clearly has no problem with posing for photos with people she doesn't know on the internet. But I guess as long as they're women. Well, here's the evil man who, quote-unquote, stalked her, posting a video shared here by Miss Jacob. Taylor Lorenz caught lying and playing victim again. A young man who happens to be a minority with autism, which to me is irrelevant, but to Tay it is, went to the public meta protest organized by meme creators. He went to meet creators he's a fan of, but Lorenz was there too. She made him leave and then called him a stalker.
July 23rd, I went to the Meta rally. It was like a 13-minute subway ride from my book club. That happening like an hour before, so it was convenient. I have family in Brooklyn, so it was convenient to come to New York. So I came to the rally. I was about maybe like 25 feet from Taylor Lorenz. Not really. Wasn't really my intent to interact with her in such a way. I just wanted to meet like a sold-out Channel 5 or meme admins like Anti-Art was there. It'd just be nice to shake their hands. Say
yeah.
Hi.
Just a fan, right? Just a fan.
Had some previous interaction with them. I was involved with the protest discords. Then Taylor Lorenz came up, asked my name, then
Came up, asked his name, okay?
asked me to leave.
And then asked him to leave. A public protest.
Then, so I left. Then I checked Twitter. It's like she's saying I confronted her or anything. I was about maybe 20, 25.
It wasn't even within 25 feet of her. She came up to him and demanded he leave a protest, then went online and pretended that he stalked and confronted her.
All the way on their side, sidewalk from her. There was no intent to interact, did not confront her at all.
How about this? You might also be wondering why Taylor Lorenz didn't like this particular individual. Another piece of the story that Taylor Lorenz conveniently left out. The story I was told was that this man used to be a fan of Taylor because he's a fan of internet culture. He had made a fan account that reposted Lorenz's public posts. Initially, Taylor didn't mind the attention. Taylor writes, "Hey, this is very nice. Who runs this account? Not convinced this isn't my mother, LOL. No, just a late 20-something from wherever. I hope you're well. OMG! Well, thank you so much. It's really kind of you. I've never had a fan account before, I don't think. Emoji, emoji." Once Taylor Lorenz realized that someone had a record of her public posts on social media, she changes her tune and becomes very upset. The man followed and kept a record of her public social media posts. This is, quote, threatening? Are you threatening me? Is this exactly what Taylor does on a daily basis? Interesting. Where did you even find this tweet? I deleted it almost immediately because I was being misinterpreted. Done found it on Twitter. Thank you. I deleted it on Twitter, so I don't know where it would have come up. I'm just really appreciate. Sorry if it's very anxiety inducing to have old stuff you didn't know was still out there dredged up. You mean your literal job? And post it somewhere where bad faith actors can easily find it. Thanks again for hearing me out. Demanding they delete it, by the way. Did they post it on IG? What do you mean? No one posted this on IG, but you're still going through and liking old posts that I mentioned in from years ago. I'm just asking how and why you are looking up years old tweets about me. What? I understand and I'm sympathetic to that. I have family members with autism and friends with autism. Oh, you have a black friend, huh, Taylor? I know it's not intentional. I'm just sorry for being harsh. I'm very private as a journalist, sure. And it feels invasive. It feels like I can't do anything on the internet without you watching me, and it makes me feel anxious. I'm really glad to hear you pursuing therapy. Thank you for hearing me out. Interesting. The fact that you made a new account and followed my book account, which I didn't even promote yet, is extremely creepy and not okay. Please leave me alone and stop stalking me. I have asked you many times and tried to be understanding, but you keep crossing boundaries. It's causing me great anxiety and stress and ruining my life. Again, to be clear, it's ruining her life because they were posting their own public tweets. These are completely unhinged. Taylor becomes completely unhinged and increasingly hostile at the thought that there's a public record of her online behavior. I can't tell if she actually feels threatened or if she's just having a temper tantrum because her online activity is trackable just like everyone else's. What? 2020 was one of the worst years of my life. I don't know what you're talking about. You don't even follow me, Lamau. Also, don't message me S like this from lurker accounts. It's weird. And if this is a name, please leave me alone. I don't know how many times I have to ask. You need to stop stalking me. Again, this is exactly what she does for a living, and she just really hates when people do it to her. Definitely don't keep cataloging everything Taylor Lorenz does online. I'm sure that would be just too frustrating for her. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.